Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Anklet beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup Lockdown, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 50. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group and on Instagram at Love After Lockup Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we're covering Season 2, Episode 50. This is an episode of Life After Lockup titled Who's Cheating on Who? Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic.
I just want to say a little bit about the stickers. We ended that contest. Don't email us for free stickers. It's over. We have them for sale now. They are for sale on Sticker Mule. I do have posts up on our Facebook page. You can order them, but they only come in quantities, unfortunately. So really nothing's under like $22. However, I also put a coupon on there that takes $10 off. So you could buy something you like and like give them away. You can whatever you want to do with them. But it unfortunately comes in quantities. And once I find a site where it doesn't have to be quantities, I will definitely look to put them on there instead. But for right now, our sticker store is on Sticker Mule and it is under our podcast name. And also, we are going to do magnets for our next free giveaway. It's going to be in April sometime. You're going to have to give me a little bit of time to create the magnets. I do have the suggestions of magnets you would like to see. I'm also going to post the details as to how to get the magnets. I'm not going to promise that everyone's going to get like 5 magnets like they do with the stickers because magnets are a little heavier. They're a little more expensive to mail out. So we may do where you get to choose your design of magnet and then we will send you that one. If we like you a lot, we may send you 2. So
Excellent. Well, this week we start off with Angela and Tony, and they're driving in the car, and there's only 2 days until the wedding.
they've apparently at this point been engaged for 3 years, which it didn't feel like that long, but I guess a lot of time has passed. I thought we were on 2 years. Now we're on 3.
I think most of it was when he was in prison, supposedly. Like, they were engaged while he was in prison. I don't think he's been out for 3
No.
years. I don't think 2 or 3.
They've been engaged for like 3 times, like once in prison and then twice outside of prison, right?
Something
I
like
believe
that,
it's
yeah.
3. Yeah, 3 years, one engagement for every a year. Makes sense.
You have to re-propose.
Re-propose. Yeah, I'm going to propose while I'm in prison. Then when I get out, when I do something shitty, I'm gonna propose. Then after you forgive me and I do the next shitty thing, then I'm gonna propose again.
That's how you say you're sorry.
Yep.
So Angela says after everything they've been through, she's really excited about the wedding.
But she does say that Tony has no money to pay for the wedding. We all know this. That's not shocking at all. So guess what? Angie's going to pay for all of it. And she says it's a lot. Any wedding is expensive. Even the cheapest wedding is expensive. There is no cheap wedding. Even if you were to go to Vegas, it's still not cheap.
Right. No, it's expensive no matter how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the wedding planner is talking about his groomsmen, and she says, oh, he doesn't have any groomsmen. And he goes, well, hold on now, just a minute. I have a best man. She's like, pardon me?
he just pulls this random Andre out of his ass who he met in prison while they're doing this and they're having this discussion, because this is the time to have the discussion of this imaginary Andre that just happens to exist. They're looking at the beachside outdoor venue, which seems to be like they're going to get married on the beach, and then the reception's going to be in like a tent thing where Tony's going to wear no shoes, remember.
Right, he doesn't need shoes. He's eating with his toes. She says that she doesn't wanna be around Andre, and he's like, "You need to calm down. Well, you're just bringing this random stranger to the wedding that you have never even mentioned to her, and she needs to calm down?"
It's crazy. She just didn't know anything about Andre, but he's good enough friends with this dude to have him be his best man, but have never mentioned it in 3 years to his fiance. Got it. Tony says that his friends and family are too far away. I call bullshit on that because not he you mean to tell me not one friend or family member would travel to Tony's wedding? Bullshit. They don't like him.
That
They
he burned those Yeah, he burned those bridges.
Mhm.
So Angela asks Tony why Andre was in prison, and he says Andre sold drugs. And she's like, okay, so is it such a great idea for you as an addict to be hanging around with somebody who was trafficking drugs?
Sounds like a great idea. I mean, I bet Andre is a stand-up fucking guy. So Angela puts out the rule because Angela loves her rules, but of course you have to treat Tony like a child. That before the wedding, no Andre, and after the wedding, no Andre. So he can be his best man, but that's it.
Right. She tells him that maybe he should marry Andre and then they can go back to prison together, which, is the adult way to handle the situation.
I freaking love her. She is amazing. She
She's
she's
so funny.
she's hysterical. I swear. I really I feel like we should write to WeTV and she needs her own damn show. Like, put this lady on TV.
I wish they would make some spin-offs of some of the couples.
They absolutely could. Absolutely could. I mean, I don't want Tony on this, but we could even do say a dating show for Angela, right?
Yeah, you could.
She only dates these piece of shit guys. Like the last guy she was with, I talked to her a little bit on Facebook. I thought she was putting out cryptic messages about her former relationship with Tony. No, she had a guy after Tony that treated her even fucking worse, which is sad.
Like some of us just need our pickers fixed.
Yeah.
We find out that this isn't Tony's first marriage. He was married before when he was 16 years old.
That's crazy to me. Crazy. Did they say how long it lasted? Also, Angela was married before, but her husband is deceased.
Okay.
Mhm. Did they say whether how long it lasted? I didn't hear
I don't, if
about
they did, I
not
didn't.
Angela. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't catch
Tony.
it if they said. He said that he's never had a bachelor party, and no matter what she says, he's going to have one, and Andre is going to be there. So this is a great way to start off a marriage, on deceit and
I am not a fan of, and you can shit all over me, whatever. I'm not talking about you, Jen, but whoever listens, I am not a fan of bachelor and bachelorette parties where you do sexualized things with other people. Just don't agree with it. I don't like it. I wouldn't want to do it, and I don't think that my to be spouse should do it either. I'm not a fan.
I feel like it's an outdated ritual and
Yeah.
it just doesn't really fit with today, but that's just my opinion.
To each their own. I just don't feel like it's needed. I it borders on cheating, and why are we cheating before our wedding? I don't care for it.
Sorry. Next up, Lacey, John, and Shane. And Lacey's riding with John and they're holding hands.
It's so fucking shady. I'm sorry, but okay, Shane had a one night stand, but Lacey's in a whole full blown second fucking relationship, which is totally different and still totally cheating. I don't care if they've not had sex yet. during her relationship with Shane. I don't care. This
Do you
is
believe that?
no, that, and also I do not believe that. She says that she's waiting to break up with Shane before they have sex. I don't fucking believe her for a second. I don't
Not for
believe
a
that she didn't
second.
have sex with Shane on the first night that they stayed at the hotel together. And I don't believe that she hasn't had sex with John yet. She just is trying to make it look like she's better than Shane somehow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She says she found out Shane cheated and she's disappointed and reevaluating her marriage by being with John.
This is not how you do adult reevaluating of your marriage. Like, two wrongs don't make a damn right here. This is just like Lacey philosophy. Oh, he cheated on me, so therefore I'm going to cheat on him.
But her dad called it. Like, he told Shane this is exactly what's going to happen. And what he said was going to happen is exactly what happened.
Yep, because dad knows her probably better than anyone else. She claims John knows her better than anyone else. No, it's dad.
Yeah. Yeah. She says she doesn't know what she wants to do. She doesn't really know if she wants to be with John or she wants to be with Shane.
Yeah, John, with his smart ass self, is like, well, Shane's over there running the house and you aren't. Because he just feels like Shane is running everything, ruling Lacey's world. I don't think that's how Lacey lives. I think Lacey's always going to be the boss of everything in her life. And Shane is just like her little boy toy that she just happened to marry. And he's just living life Lacey's way, I think.
That's kind of how it seems. That's at least how they played it on the show.
Yeah.
So John asks Lacey who she's texting, and she says her dad, but he feels like it's Shane for sure. And there's no way for us to know unless she says something because he doesn't like demand to see her phone or really do anything beyond the questioning.
Wouldn't it be normal for her to be texting her husband? He's acting like as if she's in the car doing something shady. She is doing something shady with you at the
With you,
moment.
yeah. Not by texting her husband.
Yeah.
So John asks her how her and Shane can be cool after he cheated on her. But I feel like this is just him trying to like stoke the fire. You know, he really is trying to get the flames up because he's got his goal in mind, getting Lacey back.
He's such a smart ass antagonizer. Like, I like John. Uh, uh, not, I don't know. I guess because of the way that he is. Like, everyone seemed to like John, right?
I
No
like
one.
John.
Yeah, it's just he's funny and, like, I don't know. I don't think that I want John to be with Lacey. I feel like he'd be better off with someone else. They're not
Yeah.
together. Well, we don't think, well, it has been speculation that they are, but I don't see it. So, but who the hell knows? The internet lies about everything and makes shit up. Lacey's just
What?
trying.
The
Yeah.
fuck you say?
Like, in one day, in our 107,000 members of the Facebook group and 5 gazillion posts a day, there are like 10 stories for each fucking
Every cast member.
story. Like, one person says one thing and 10 other have everything else to say that's completely different than what that person said.
Or the
Nuts.
one person who repeats the exact same story on every post about that person. Like, I talked to him or her and we were so close. And then you happen, as you're going through comments, you're like, why am I seeing this over and over and over again? It's the same damn story.
Yeah, we tend to like just randomly believe people, but like these people, they're internet trolls. They just make shit up.
They wait to see if anybody believes it.
Exactly. And also, on top of that, they're making money off of this. So that's why they're doing it. The more attention their posts and comments get, if they're monetized, they get money for that. So they're bullshitting for money. I mean, I do it too, but I don't lie though. I don't lie though. I don't put out full blown lies.
So she says they aren't cool. She's just trying to keep the peace.
Yeah, yep. He says, "You're trying to keep it going with the both of us." And she says, "No, I'm not." Yes,
Yes.
she is.
Mm-hmm.
She wants both of them. If she could have both of them living with her and they would agree to it, it's absolutely how it would be.
She wants that throuple.
Yup.
He gets upset and he says she let an inmate that she just met move in with her and the kids. And it's even worse because she met him while he was in prison. But dude, you were in prison too. It's not like you have never been to prison. How are you talking about somebody else?
Yeah, John has been in and out of prison for many years, back and forth, because he is for drugs. John says that this man was in prison for 4 years and you expected him to be Mr. Rogers. It's just the pot calling the kettle black here. Like, John is no better. Shane was a child that got mixed up with something that happened to put him in jail for 4 years. But John has been a repeat offender.
Right. So she tells him that Shane portrayed himself to be different than he actually is. I mean, we don't know. That could be true.
I don't feel that. I mean, unless they're just completely not showing us stuff that she's talking about, I don't see that. But again, this is a TV show. They show us what we want to see.
Hear me out. What if what she's talking about is that Shane portrayed himself as devoted to her and in love with her, and then he ends up cheating on her with just nope, it was like the whole thing was so insignificant, and he was willing to throw all that away. That is misrepresenting himself. If you think he's a good guy that you can trust and then he does something like that, that to me is misrepresenting yourself.
That's true. That could actually be what she's talking about, but I feel like she's going to take anything and run with it so that she can cheat on him and be with John in the end, because I think she's second guessing herself. So it's almost like as if this was like opportunistic, like, no, I didn't want Shane to cheat on her and I don't think that it's okay, but I mean, this was like a freaking dream come true, because then she got to be with John because she was already second guessing it before Shane before
Shane?
Shane cheat
Sean?
before Shane cheated on her.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. So he says, listen, Lacey, it's time for you to kick Shane out. And then she pretends to cry.
Yeah, she's crying. She's like, "Why are you doing this?" He's trying to get his freaking life back, his family back that he thought he was getting out of prison to go fucking back to. And instead, you married a child.
Oh shit. She said that she's known John for a long time and he has a bad temper, which is more reason that you shouldn't be doing any of this to provoke him. Like you're going to get him thrown back in prison between the stuff that you do and the stuff that he does to himself. Like it's almost inevitable he'll end up back in prison.
Yeah, well, John's got that, like, he'll smile while he's being a dick to you too, which is real scary.
Yeah.
So she's even more confused now. John said that he's not trying to make her feel bad, but it's not her responsibility to take care of Shane. He's still going to be on this kick about her taking care of Shane because that's his one thing that he keeps like drilling into her brain.
Yeah. And then she says that she's heartbroken, realizing her marriage could be over. Just
No,
now?
she's not. She's not.
No, no, I don't buy that either. Next up, Clint and Tracy, and Clint gets home but can't get into the house. So he knocks on the door. I'm not sure why he doesn't have a key to his own house.
Oh I know. Okay. So he doesn't have a key to the house, but somehow he can open the garage door without having a garage door opener, or did he just travel with a garage door opener? I don't know, because he took like an Uber or a Lyft,
He could have a keypad where you just type the code in.
but he doesn't have a keypad on the front door, but on the garage door.
Girl, I don't even know, but that could be why.
Well, he gets on the inside into the garage and is banging on that door because that door is locked too, and he also doesn't have a key to that door.
Can't get in supposedly like at all.
Yep.
So we find out that Tracy's looking at anywhere between 2 and 20 years. That's pretty broad range, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't fit the offense either. I hate this country and the way that we set up offenses. Like a person who murders or molests or rapes a child will get like 5 years, but if you are a heroin abuser, you'll get 20 years. Like it makes
Mhm.
no sense. It infuriates me. But yeah, let's just throw her in jail because that fixes drug addiction. But I guess that the difference would be if she did go to rehab, which is why Clint is trying to push this, she may not, no guarantee, get less time. So he still, again, says he doesn't know what her court date is. I don't know why he would not know this because he has $5,000 on the line. And I guess maybe her court date is just not set in stone yet. But he said it is like literally rehab or jail. So she has to do one or the other, and it's still not guaranteed.
So he gets in the house and she tells him to leave. Like she had to have known he was coming. And I feel like she was just kind of to a point being combative. You know, she was in a combative type of mood.
Yeah, she had been texting him, so he knew she was well, he knew there was a possibility she could be there. So he says that he's not gonna let his wife sit in jail. Okay. I'm hoping this is sincere that he really truly doesn't want her to go and sit in jail and it's not really about his $5,000, but who knows. He says he's that she's very scared to have the drugs taken away from her and it really breaks his heart that she like chooses drugs over him.
He tells her to run away like she always does and says he's not going to put up with it anymore. And he has this tendency to like almost beg her to be there with him and talks about how devoted he is to her and how much he loves her, and then in the next breath he's saying the opposite, like just leave, I'm done with you, I'm not going to put up with this shit anymore. So it's all over the place.
Yep, yep. It's that, well, this is not the right word, but it's that bipolar we keep talking about. I don't know what the correct term is now, but he's, she's my goddess, she's my wife. My parents have distanced themselves, yeah, for half a day because Alice wouldn't give you a damn ride. You're staying at her damn house. And Tracy is just like wildly angry and she says, "You just look at me like I'm a addicted bitch." And I mean, she is kinda being a bitch, not gonna lie.
I just feel like it would all be so confusing to anybody to have somebody who's back and forth like that, but let alone somebody who's going through addiction themselves. Like if you are barely hanging on and then you've got somebody over here going back and forth every 2 seconds, it's just a volatile situation for everybody involved.
Yeah, one minute he loves her, one minute he hates her, like, back and forth, "Leave, stay, leave, stay." I mean,
Mhm.
she doesn't need all this. So he says, "No, I look at you like my wife who does whatever the fuck she wants, and I have no control of it." And Tracy, like we've heard her say, "Well, why the fuck are you with me?" Which, like you said, the confusion, because
Mhm.
he should just always undyingly love her and never say, "I'm leaving, you leave, we're done." That's not a healthy.
It's just such a toxic
Mhm.
situation. She says that he only sees her as a drug addict, and he says that's not true. He sees her as his wife who he can't help anymore.
Yeah. So Clint says, "I want to be a top priority in your life, just like you are in mine." And Tracy says, "Well, then go get another wife." I would say that too. I'm sorry. That's like a response I would give.
Yeah. Well, he decides to respond to this argument by punching himself in the face, and he tells her to get away from him. I mean, he's punching himself in the head, the face.
I had to rewind because at first I thought he hit her, and then I had to go back because it happened so quick. He was holding like whatever that stick was in his hand, and then I saw him like go kind of towards her, and then I didn't realize he was like hitting himself. But yeah, he was really hitting himself in the face, both sides, like a psycho. And she says, "You're a psycho."
So She tells him that he needs to call his mom, and he responds by calling her an addict. You know, that the loving terms that are really going to help her.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, one minute she's goddess and the next minute she's a loser drug addict. Got it. So he says, "Are you going to go to rehab and or not?" And she says, "Just stop." And then his response is, "I'm done."
Right. Next up, Brittany and Marcelino. And Brittany looks like she's walking along the side of the highway, and Amanda pulls up.
I was so confused. I was like, "Where are they?"
Yeah.
And it turns out they're in front of the prison that they were both in, and she says that her and Amanda share like a special prison bond, but she was also her ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. So they both get into the bed of the truck, and Brittany tells us that they met in prison and that she knows Amanda always has her best interest at heart.
Mhm. Yep, yep. So Brittany says that the reason why they're there is she sometimes sits out there to remind herself that shit's bad, but it's not like that bad, like prison bad.
Yeah. It's good to remember, to be thankful that that's not the situation you're in anymore.
Not a bad plan.
So there's talking about Sasha, and they kind of flash back to what happened with her trial, and we know she got like, was it 10 years or something? 10,
Yeah.
20 years? I can't even remember what it was.
I think it was like a minimum 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And they talk about how much they miss her.
Mhm. Brittany says that she wishes she had a bullhorn so that they could like yell at them and tell the girls in the prison yard that she loves her. Tell Sasha I love her.
So now Brittany tells Amanda what happened with Marcelino, and she was like, why would he lie to me? And she seems like truly confused as to how they ended up in this situation.
Mhm. So we find out that one of the reasons why this whole gambling thing is such a big deal is that when when her dad when she lived with her, I don't know, I don't remember, but her dad had a gambling problem, and he had to leave Las Vegas to go to Alaska to escape his gambling problem, and he would get paid on a Friday and then be broke by Sunday because of his poor gambling habits, and then he couldn't pay their rent. So I'm guessing this was before she left.
That's what it sounds like.
So she says that she just never wants to be there. She doesn't ever want to not be able to provide for her family. And she says that you can lose like everything that it took years to create and just build in like a split second.
So Amanda suggests to Brittany that she needs to check their bank account and see how much money Marcelino's actually lost.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know why she wouldn't have done that. That would be like the first thing like I would do to be like, why are you so concerned about our money and then check the bank account? Unless she doesn't have access to it and he just pays all the bills. But I thought that they said she pays the bills, so it's super confusing. Like, you
Yeah, I
pay your
don't
bills
know.
without checking your account. So she mentions again, like, I lived on the streets. I don't want to live on the streets. She'll do everything in her power to not ever be in that position again. So, like, all of this is like really concerning because now we're talking about like she doesn't know how broke they.
Yeah, she does tell Amanda that just because they're married and have kids, it doesn't mean she won't dip out on him.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if that's the right decision, but like I mean, I guess. So they stand up then in the back of the truck and then they're like yelling, "Where's Sasha? Tell Sasha I love her." And it seemed like the ladies like turned around and looked at him like they were crazy.
They probably couldn't even understand what the fuck they were saying. I mean, they were on it looked like they were on a major highway.
Yeah, pretty far away too.
Next up, Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Maria. And Sarah pulls up and sees Michael and Maria outside. And Sarah says she needs to talk to him about Aviana.
Yeah, yep. Michael did not take out Aviana for ice cream like he promised, and Sarah is just tired of this shit happening. And like, so she's just there to just confront him.
So Sarah, we talk about her not calling the police on him, but as far as provoking him, that's a different story. Like, she got up in his face and she's yelling at him, and Maria keeps trying to put herself in between them, saying that he's her man, but that's not what they're arguing about, is it? Maybe it is, though.
They really are. Michael pulls Maria away from Sarah and tells Maria to go inside. And, Michael says that Sarah just came to the hotel to start shit with him. It does feel that way. I don't think he's wrong here. I think this was far less about Aviana and the children than this was about the fact that he just confused the fuck out of her by sleeping with her.
Yeah. So Maria continues screaming at Sarah, and Michael continues screaming at Maria. This is all outside of a hotel where there are other people staying there.
He says Sarah just wanted to come see Maria. You mentioned that in the last episode, that this was more about, like, I feel she really just needed to see what Maria looked like.
Yeah, I would
There were
agree with
other
that.
reasons too, but this was big. Yeah, this was
Mhm.
a big part of it.
So Sarah says that Maria clearly doesn't know that they had sex, and she isn't sorry that she's been sleeping with her boyfriend because Maria has been sleeping with Sarah's husband.
That's pretty freaking fair. Fair statement. However, they have been separated for a while now. So Maria says things that are going to really burn Sarah. Like, you've never been worried about your kids. You're worried about your skank ass feeling.
Man, they're all arguing, and then Sarah tells him that he's got to make a decision between the girls and Maria. Now, why would you have to make that decision? Like, that's where your argument kind of went off the rails.
That does not make sense. If you are broken up with someone and you know that you are, even if you are married, that person is allowed to live their own life. You cannot say, "Oh, make a choice between your new girlfriend and your children." No, that is not feasible. That is not going to happen here. Maria just randomly says, "Bye, I've got a lawyer." I'm like, "What for fucking what? What's she
What
gonna
does that have
do?
to do with
What's she
anything?
suing her for?" She's so fucking dumb. And then Maria says this bullshit where she's like, "I would never let a guy treat me like that." And I'm like, "Fool, you fucking did, though."
That's true. That's a good point.
She doesn't know that Michael just did the same thing to her.
She's thinking back to the better days when she had her confrontation was Megan, where they sat down and had a conversation, be it a heated conversation, but it wasn't this. It wasn't getting in each other's faces and screaming, "That's my man." Nobody cares. I mean, I know Sarah cares, but come on. Who are you fighting?
Megan is a different caliber of person than Maria is. Let's just put it that way. I mean, it is just honestly true. It cracks me up when people on our Facebook group call Maria Michael's abuela, which is so fucking hysterical. Because she literally looks like an old woman compared to him, and she's not. They're the same damn age. But did you notice that meanwhile, in the background, there's this 70-year-old production crew member that's gonna break up the damn fight? And I'm like, where is your security? They've got these old men trying to break up the fight. Just fucking like the boom butt mic guy.
These
Did you
poor
catch it?
guys.
Here's security.
Maria says that she wants to throw hands like a mature adult.
I fully fucking believe that Maria would. She doesn't give a fuck. She is not living an honest life where she would have any repercussions for going to jail. I'm sure she's been in and out of jail for a very long time. I don't even know if she has custody of her own damn children, but we know that her job is prostitute.
The one thing that bothered me was, Sarah says that Maria will never be around the kids as long as she's alive. And I saw on the same day that I watched this episode where there's pictures of that Maria took of the girls in bed with Michael while she's there, which is fucked up.
Yep. Likely because they probably did actually go to court after all this mess and actually get some sort of an agreement for custody.
Mhm.
It, I mean, because it happens. You can fight it all you want, but if Michael can prove that he's safe for the children, they can't deny him. So they are his children. I mean, and he's happens to be with Maria. You don't have control over that. As long as
Right.
Maria's not like a registered sex offender or anything, she can be around them too. You can only stop so much and control so much. So Sarah says that you're going to let this bitch disrespect me and I raise those kids. All right. I partially agree here, but then I partially don't. Because this was uncalled for what Sarah did. This is uncalled for, this whole thing. But I do feel that Michael actually legitimately was trying to stop Maria from hitting uh Sarah.
Oh, yeah, I think Maria would have hit Sarah.
Yeah. He was holding her back, so he was doing his best. It was a very crazy situation.
Well, when she's going away, she says she's gonna go home and put the kids to bed and tell them good things about their dad, like she always does.
Yeah. Uh, I believe that's true, but she's Delulu thinking that if she does that, then somehow Michael will come back to her. It's so much less about the kids. And Michael is just, so angry, and he just says, "I am done with all of these theatrics." And Sarah just says, "Stick up for your kids," and Michael says, "I am." I don't. It's so confusing. Like, what is Sarah's goal here?
It's all about the interaction with Maria, I think, is to see what maybe she can get away with, because she can't get away with the same stuff with Maria that she did with Megan.
Did you catch that it was said a couple times that their kids are in the car? Because it was said a couple times. Yeah.
No,
Yep.
I did not know that. That
Mhm.
changes the situation too.
Couple times she said that your kids are in the car.
Well, the hotel staff comes out and they let them know they can't be standing outside the hotel screaming at each other. And Michael gets up in this guy's face and he starts screaming at him. I would have called the police immediately. I mean, they were staying at that hotel. They're not going to be staying there any longer, if they're yelling at staff. And he was very aggressive about it.
Yeah. The guy came at him aggressively, but yeah, I mean, it's their establishment. He has the right to stop you from being a menace, you
Right.
know?
And they're running around the parking lot screaming at each other.
Yep. I mean, likely the hotel did know that they were recording there and they got, permission, but this is disturbing to other guests. They do have
Right.
other people staying there.
Next up, Clint and Tracy, and Alice is on the phone and she tells Clint to stop fighting with Tracy.
Hmm. And I think that Tracy is like either packing or unpacking. I don't know what she's doing, but she's got a bunch of stuff all around. I don't know if she brought her stuff back or if she's packing up her stuff to leave again. I have no idea, but she's like smoking her vape in the air in like like a sassy way.
Yeah, I thought she was packing up and like she was leaving.
It was hard to tell. I don't know.
Well, he tells Alice that Tracy doesn't care, and Alice says no, she doesn't care. And Tracy says only about the drugs. Like she's being defiant, understandably. She's upset and probably knows what's coming one way or another. Neither of the outcomes are ideal.
He's just trying to figure out if she wants to go to rehab tomorrow, but it's just getting her more and more amped up. And Clint then says, "Well, you only care about yourself." No, not when people are in. They are, but they don't mean to be. Let's just put it that way. It's addiction.
He tells Alice that he's gonna stay with her tonight. So he plans on going back to his mom's, which doesn't make sense if she's leaving.
Yeah, it was so confusing. Tracy's like digging at him. She's like, "Oh, call your mama at 40 years old." And they're just like digging at each other. And he says, "My wife doesn't love me and she just wants to bring me down."
She tells him to leave, and he's like, "Well, I need to." Man, you are right. Like, one of you needs to go because this is such a bad situation.
Mhm. He says, like, "My love was not enough." N No, that is one of the mistakes he made. Not getting her, or I know that you can't force someone into treatment, but not doing it right out of the freaking gates before it got to this point, being like, "Hey, shouldn't you consider, like, getting help for your problem?" Before it got to this point, he really, and a lot of these people just think that this love is gonna, like, solve all the problems and fix everything, and that there's not, and none of the ghosts from the past are gonna come back because there's love.
So he tells her that he needs his dog back, which fair. That would have been my, you know, my equal second top priority. I don't know. Like, where's my dog? How is he?
I I just want my dog. I'm like, I'm just do whatever you wanna do, but I'm concerned about my freaking dog.
Right?
That's what I did when I left my house. The very first thing I took was my dog and also my son. But, then we hear something that we didn't know before. She says, "Where's the sonogram of our kid?" And then she says, "You probably threw it away." And then he says something totally uncalled for. And he said, "Well, you are the one who literally threw him away." That was so unnecessary.
That was so too far. I mean, that's not even a question of whether it was too far. That's so beyond the boundaries of what's acceptable to say to anybody, let alone
Very
somebody
wrong.
you're supposed to love.
Mhm.
She says that she had an abortion, and out of everything she's ever done, that was the worst.
So we do now know that this may have been a starting point for her to be in full-blown addiction again. I'm guessing because we don't have proof of that, but something like this would be like, okay, this is very, very stressful and it is causing me to go back to drugs again. And I mean, so she says that they wanted to keep him, and Tra- Tracy said, yes, at first, like she was gonna keep the baby, but then they felt like they couldn't afford the baby. I'm gonna take a wild guess that some of the reason why they didn't keep the baby also was that Tracy was maybe like abusing drugs while pregnant, but I
Actively
don't know that for
using.
a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if she wasn't, I'm sure she was after the abortion. I mean, it sounds like she carried a tremendous amount of guilt from that. I he says the abortion was a dagger in the heart, but I mean, so she asks him if he's going to go to Alice's house, and he says that he wants to stay with her if she wants to go to rehab.
hmm yeah. And again, he can't force her, but I think like this whole time, like she was gonna go, but she just needed to be a dick for a little while, or something was going on here. They were just antagonizing each other, and she says that she feels like, rehab is an ultimatum, and she says that I am going to choose to go, me, and that Clint is basically not going to be the decision maker on this.
She does tell him that she's sorry, and he says he knows, and he knows that she needs help, and she wants help to get the help, and nothing but good can come out of her going to the rehab.
Absolutely. That is hands down the truth. It is the best thing that that she could do for herself, and it just needed to be her decision is what this boils down to. She was being forced. She didn't want to feel forced, and in the end she was going to go, but it needed to be on her terms. And then she says they all this all calms down, and then they start to kind of get a little bit like lovey-dovey. She lays down, hugs the dog, and she says, "Oh, it would be cool if Blazer could go to rehab with me," which was kind of cute.
Which would be true, like, if you could bring your dog with you to rehab, I feel like that would make things so much easier.
Yeah.
Next up, Angela and Tony's with his friend Andre, who says they're going to get turned up tonight.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Yep. Andre, and then this is your last night of being free, and that this is gonna be great. This is me boys' night out. They're going to a strip club. It's his bachelor party. And guess what? Tommy's there.
Right. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, great idea, right? But we know that this was ultimately Angie's decision to have Tommy there because Tommy's her little spy.
It's funny that she thinks that Tony doesn't realize that. You know what I mean? He just doesn't care that you know what he's doing.
We think that it would be crazy for Tony to not realize that Tommy is going to tell Angela everything. We're pretending like as if Tony doesn't know this. Okay.
Tommy says that Angela thinks that him and Tony are going to be friends. I think of all things, that's the least likely.
Don't think that's what she believes. I really don't. So Tommy's like, I'm here to keep a close eye on Tony. And this could just be Tommy's idea, but I don't think that it is. So they're all down in shots, drinking drinks, and it. Oh, okay. And then Tommy says he's just like again brings it up to Tony. Why Angela? Why are you with Angela?
Mhm. He says that Angela completes him and she's his balance. Come on. You don't believe that. I don't believe that. We don't believe that.
Okay, Tom Cruise, whatever. He just pulled out some fucking movie lines and everything's good, right? Okay. So Tommy says if you happen to step out a bit and don't follow her rules, Angela is going to cut you down. And we already know that to be true.
He says he can't imagine what would happen if he gets tired of her. And Tony says, what? And leave her for you?
Yeah, he says Angela's mine and we're going to be together forever. Absolutely not true.
Come on. Tommy says he's pretty sure Tony is running a hustle and he believes they will be divorced within 2 years. That's a pretty good call.
I think it's pretty accurate, actually. I think it was about 2 years. So Tommy says again, like, you could call it off or you could postpone it. I don't know what postponing it would do. I guess maybe give Angela time to like come to her senses, but I don't know. It's just Tommy just wanting this to not happen at all.
Yeah, because Tony asks him, like, why would I do something like that? Doesn't even make sense. What would be the benefit? And he's like, oh, for her happiness. He's like, she is happy.
I don't think Angela is happy at this point. I really have not seen happiness level. Maybe she's a little bit happy because they're getting married, but no. Tony says that Tommy's just not going to go away. It's like a shark to a guppy, and a shark isn't going to worry about what a guppy is doing.
Right. Tommy says, you better not hurt her because I don't know what I'd do. And Tony says, you're not the hero in this situation.
Yep. So now in comes Andre with his gold teeth, and he says to Tommy, "So you love Angela and you feel some kind of way for her."
He he asks him if he's still in love with Angela. And Tommy says it's down to the line at this point, and all he can do is let it happen. Like it doesn't matter how he feels. Angela's made her decision.
Yeah, but then he fully says, like, "I'm trying to stop the marriage."
Oh, good old Tommy.
I love that Tommy doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's sitting there likely with two men who have probably murdered someone, definitely held a gun before, and probably a knife. They like their prostitutes and strippers, and here's Tommy, the what is he, a therapist? Like,
Yeah, mental health therapist, yeah.
and with his kung fu moves, he's gonna save the day here for his Queen Angela.
So Andre says, if you get in the way, you're gonna get crushed. Now, I would hope that this was set up because I would hope Tommy wasn't putting himself in jeopardy, trying to be
It
what?
seemed dangerous. Like, it didn't
Yeah.
seem safe. I'm glad that there was, like, production there and it was in a public place. I didn't like this. Like, it's um,
I feel like mouthing off to Tony is totally different than mouthing off to Andre.
Andre. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know." I feel like Andre's
He might
bad
beat your
news.
ass.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And Andre is saying, like, basically, he's the best man, and he's gonna, like, I don't know, defend Tony because this is Tony's woman, and he's the best man. I don't think that that's what a best man means. I don't think it's like stop another man from trying to stop a piece of shit from marrying the woman.
Ah, man, it's such a disaster in the making, you know?
Yeah.
So, two strippers dressed as cops come out and they tell Tony that he's in trouble. And I guess this is presumably what Andre was doing earlier when Tommy and Tony were having their little discussion.
Yeah, yeah, when he said he was gonna go get the waitress, he was paying for a lap dance, I guess, so, yeah, they're handcuffing him, and the one stripper says, "You've got big wrists, Tony, is that or and then what else is big?" And he says, "It matches, I promise," and I wanted to throw up in my mouth.
Yeah, I wrote gag on my notes.
Ugh,
But I wouldn't have even had to have written that because I already know I feel the same way every time I hear it.
he's so gross.
Next up, Andrea and Lamar. Andrea is talking about them having sex in prison.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun times together. The look on Lamar's face this whole time was cracking me up. He is so funny. These two could have absolutely had a spin-off. She said that her friends were the ones that like kind of started questioning her about this whole prison sex thing. And Lamar says that she has some nosy interrogator friends.
I mean, if your friend just shows up pregnant out of nowhere and you are part of a religious cult, you do probably want to know what the fuck is going on.
It's quite possible that they could have actually believed the fact that she was impregnated b by Jesus Christ, though.
Oh, good Lord. So she
The Holy
says,
Ghost.
she says sex in prison is illegal. Well, no shit.
Mhm. Not in all prisons if you're married, but they weren't married, and
Mm-mm.
nope, and then now that he's on parole, she can tell the whole world that she was all up on this, and she's going like, all up on it. This was really funny. I liked it.
I don't think that telling people is a great idea. You know, they would, I don't know. It's probably the storyline. It's all
Yeah.
fiction. But she says that she hopes she inspires others to explore their intimacy while their man is in prison and they just have to know how to do it. Yeah, just risk going to prison yourself. It's
You
fine.
know, just do something illegal and pay the prison guard. That's all you have to do. And at no point in time is this prison ever going to go, wonder who those guards were that she paid.
Exactly. Exactly. Next up, Brittany and Marcelino, and Marcelino's sitting out by the fire, and Brittany comes out and he asks her if she's back for round two.
Yeah, yep. He says, that was very unnecessary. He said, if you lied to me, I'm not going to wake you up with a beer shower and then slap you, and that's fair.
It is. He's completely right.
Mhm.
She said that he lied to her face, and that's offensive. And I felt that. Like, that's nothing will make you quite as angry as somebody doing something like that.
Mhm. Yeah. His argument is do you think that I know what the fuck I'm doing? He says that 2 years ago, he was in a studio apartment by himself, and now he has all of this to be responsible for.
Fair point. Like, but she says, do you think any of us know what we're doing? That's also a fair point. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, he's very concerned about providing for his family. He said, "I told myself that I wasn't going to have a family until I could be able to provide for one." Well, Clearly, he was in some sort of position to start this because he met Brittany, started a relationship with Brittany, and then continued it as soon as she got out, and they built this life together. So he must have been okay if that was his whole plan.
Yeah. He says he feels like a failure when he loses, and she says lying to her is failing her. Again, I agree.
Mhm. He doesn't want his kids to grow up in poverty like he did, and I understand. I- It's Brittany then says, like, I don't care about materialistic things. Money comes and goes, but she was concerned about money. She told him he needed to get a job. So we're going a little bit back and forth here. She made him nervous about money in the first place.
That's true. She says she only expects him to be a good husband and father. That's a lot, though. It's not just a good husband, just a good father. Like, that's a lot to put on somebody. And to be the same as a mother, you know what I mean? Just a parent in general.
Yeah, he's the sole provider. Brittany is a stay-at-home mom, so this would be like concerning to him because that is part of being a good father and a good husband. If you're the sole provider, you have to make sure you're providing. So I see both sides of the argument here. And Brittany says, like, look at all of, like, the bad examples we've had in our lives. And when we start doing the same things that our parents did to each other, then we are failing and becoming who we don't want to become.
He says he has to put everything in context, and before he would have said he was close to the grave. But then he met her, and being with her has given him like a new life, a new reason to exist.
Hmm. Yep. Being a father to these children has been one of those reasons why he exists, and that it replaced him being a lone wolf and just changed his life for the better in the end.
He says that being with her changed his life, and he doesn't need to be doing risky things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he says, like, I'm sorry it took me so long to get here, and like losing you would be terrible, and I just wouldn't make it back if I lost you. He says this, I love you, my little Brittany, and you have my heart, which was really sweet.
I think he definitely loves her. I
Yeah.
feel like they both love each other.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that is not fake.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Next up, Angela and Tony. And Tommy says strippers are a normal thing for a bachelor party, but Tony is high risk. And it's like a test to see if he fails. So he's just setting them up. He's just waiting for Tony to fuck up.
You don't have to be okay with this being what happens at your to be husband's bachelor party. And knowing Tony's history, I would not be okay with this in any way, shape, or form. Because I not to put down strippers, but they can very quickly become prostitutes.
So Tommy takes pictures of Tony getting a lap dance and says he doesn't usually spy on people, but fuck Tony.
Yeah, it was a video. I thought it was pictures too, but it was literally a video of the
That's
whole thing.
hilarious.
And then you could hear the bloop when he sent it through.
Yep, send it to Angela.
Yep, we knew who he was sending it to.
So Tony comes back from the lap dance and Andre asks him how he feels, and he says he feels wonderful. Ugh.
Yeah. It feels wonderful to cheat on your spouse the day before your marriage. So Angela says that Tony has an addiction to women and a problem with impulsivity. So likely a strip club is not the right place for someone like Tony.
Yeah, right? So Angela's driving and she says that she was at the hotel getting rest before the wedding, and then she gets the video from Tommy, and now she's on her way to the strip club.
Yep, and she shows up and then she just walks up to him and she says, "Let's go." And he says, "Oh, come on." And she says, "Well, I'm not here to argue."
Yeah, she says she knew Andre was going to cause problems.
Yeah. Why are you here fucking with strippers on the night before a wedding?
And not thinking about her marriage to him. Yeah, right.
Hmm.
Next up, Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Maria, and everyone is screaming, and Sarah tells Michael to get in her car because the hotel is calling the police. Why would he get in her car even then?
She truly thought that Michael would get in the car and leave Maria for dead and just take off with her and the kids and ride off into the sunset. I don't know
Yeah,
what the fuck she was thinking. Of course he was not going to get in the car. He's literally there with his girlfriend. Why is he leaving with you?
it doesn't make any sense. He would have come by himself if that was what he wanted to do. But Michael starts running around the parking lot screaming, "Nobody touch me! Nobody touch me!"
Yeah, please get off of me.
He did include Maria in that. Maria kept trying to touch him, and he was like, "Stop."
Yep. Yeah, he does not. It's everyone. He's yelling at everyone, anyone and everyone. No one he doesn't want anyone near him. Maria is screaming, "He's not going anywhere, Sarah." And Sarah's like, again, "What about the kids?" Because of course this is about the kids.
Yeah, right. Sarah says all she can see is Michael being put in handcuffs. She means figuratively, he obviously has not happened yet.
She's creating the situation that's gonna put this dude in jail right now. She's causing this. And then randomly Maria and Michael get in some fucking van. I'm guessing it's producers of the show. I don't know. And then Maria says, "Bye, see you in court." She won't be going to court, only Michael will.
I thought that was Sarah who said, "See you in court." Boo boo.
It was Maria that said, "Bye, see you in court, boo boo."
In the van, Maria is trying to calm Michael down, which doesn't seem like she's having much success at doing.
He looks real upset. And she's like, "Well, take a deep breath and just listen to me." I don't think Michael wants anyone talking to him right now. I think he just wants to calm down. And Sarah says, "Well, he really just left me alone to take care of his kids." He's been doing that the entire time, Sarah. What is different about this situation? Just because you slept together and created rain, and he
Yeah.
still left.
Yep. He left after Aviana. He left after Rain. He's going to continue to leave, and he'll continue to sleep with you if you continue to let him. Like, if you let him
Mhm.
do it every time he comes back, why would he do anything else?
Yep.
So he's rambling some nonsense in the van, and Sarah says he's leaving tomorrow, and that would have been his last chance to see the girls before he left.
Yeah, well, it was kind of sad when she said, "Well, Aviana watched every car today and saying, 'Oh, it's daddy, it's daddy.'" Okay, all right, I get it. That would upset me, but this was not the right way to go about it. And randomly out of the blue here, also Sarah's ebonics just come out full force. She at first was speaking normal, and then she's speaking to production, and she's in ebonics. I don't know why she does this.
I don't know why she does it either. It just doesn't help her cause that she does this.
No.
We wrap this week up with Lacey, John, and Shane, and Lacey's kissing John outside of the house and says she's going to call him, so he better answer his phone.
Yeah, her kids are with her dad, like they always are, and
Right?
she walks in. Shane is just playing video games with his super wet armpits.
Oh, right? Oh, the sweatiest armpits known to man. It looked like he ran his armpits under a faucet.
Oh, it's always like that too. On his Instagram when he's doing his workout videos, like his pits are super wet.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if dude's got like some sort of a sweating problem. I don't know what that is, like hyper super tiva or something, that commercial.
Yeah. No, I don't know what's going on with his armpits.
I don't know, but Lacey says, "Well, you look comfy." And he says, "Yeah, I've just been chilling. I just got off work."
So she tells him that he's a phony, and he says, "Touche."
I mean, he's not wrong.
She says she's not phony because she was open about her relationship with John, and Shane cheated, and they are not the same thing.
I I guess. She just starts throwing all the shit in bins.
Yeah. She tells him to get the fuck out of out of her house, but he says cheating was wrong, but that he's young. and he just got out of prison, and this sounds like a fucking excuse to me.
Yeah. Well, so he does say that Lacey was fine this morning. She seemed fine, and now out of the blue, she's just aggravated. So he's like, something's going on here, and he's right.
And he asks her where she's been the past couple of hours, and she starts throwing all of his stuff at him. Like, where she was packing, now she's just throwing shit at him.
Yeah, because she wants him to leave so that John can come in so she can sleep with him. So, anyways, just a speculation.
Well, he's waiting outside. So,
Yeah.
I mean, is it speculation? Because John is literally waiting outside for her to call him.
It's I mean, that's, to me, I'm glad that I wasn't the only one that came to that realization. So she's just like, get the fuck out of the house. And then she's just, like you said, throwing all his shit. And then he's like, well, why are you acting like this all of a sudden? And then she says again, get out.
Yeah. But he makes no movement to leave. Like, he makes zero effort, and he just continues to fuck around. And he's like, why are you acting like this? And she tells him, hey, this is not all of a sudden. Like, this has been an issue. This isn't, now it is all of a sudden because she's okay. And then, just kidding. I'm not okay with this.
Yeah. And then he says, you really want me to leave? No, dumbass. She's just throwing your shit, screaming at you. She doesn't want you to leave.
He says the dumbest stuff sometimes. And he says it's sad that she wants to give up their whole relationship about something that wasn't a big deal. It is a big deal, though. And you thinking that it's not a big deal is also a big deal.
It is a big deal. He says, I love you and I care for you, but there's no coming back from this. Yeah, but there's sometimes no coming back from the fact that you actually cheated on her.
Right.
So you started it.
She says she keeps telling him to leave and he won't leave. And he says he doesn't understand where all this is coming from. She's told you, man. Like, she's repeatedly told you it's because you cheated on her. And he's like, but why would you do this? Why would you suddenly decide to do this? Neither of those things are true. Like, and then he's like, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it is.
He says, stop playing the victim. Okay, well, all right. We know she does this, but in this moment, she is the victim because the problem at hand that she's bringing up is his cheating on her. So she's the victim. So then he runs out of the house after her, and John is just sitting there with his shit-eating grin.
Right. Shane was like, holy shit. So who is your POS for this week?
It could have been many people, but I'm going to go with Tony because he is just being his usual disgusting fucking self.
I went with Maria for not keeping her face out of a situation it didn't belong in.
Yeah.
And your VIP? I think we went backwards.
That's okay. I really couldn't find anyone other than the fact that I really loved that scene with Lamar and Andrea and them talking about sex just because of Lamar's face the entire time. He cracks me up.
He's
love
so
him.
funny.
Yeah.
I chose Tracy for agreeing to go to treatment. I mean, we know that I don't think that works out, but for this week, that's who I chose.
Yeah. Getting harder and harder to pick the...
So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, oh babe, now that's validation. We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, don't mess up, I said, bet. Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.